Hi. Well, you absolutely did not ask for this, but you're going to get it. We here at the Knight Rider Historians headquarters work tirelessly to bring you exciting, relevant, and exclusive content regarding your favorite show, Knight Rider. And that's why today we're going to talk about accidents. Not accidents as in running into a wall or having an anvil fall on your head or a piano, nothing like that. No, we're going to talk about bathroom accidents. So, kind of curious as to how this relates to Knight Rider? Well, since you're my number one fan, you're in luck. I'm going to share lots of golden nuggets with you today about the Knight Rider pee seats. Are you ready? Okay, let it flow. Seriously, this is what we're doing now? So for those of you who don't know what I mean when I call them pee seats, let's catch you up. From 1983 until the year 2000, Universal Studios Hollywood had a Knight Rider display in their theme park. Guests to the park could sit in and have a conversation with KITT. Thousands and thousands of visitors sat in KITT on this display over the years, and legend goes that some of those children were simply so excited to see and talk to KITT that, well, they wet their pants. Now, the original display, back in 1983, featured cloth seats, cloth PMD seats to be precise. But those were quickly swapped out once they realized this problem for a set of heavy-duty vinyl wrap seats to allow for easier maintenance. They had a couple variations on these seats. They had the headrest style, which you see here, and then they also had a high-backed seat without headrests that in reality was your standard Firebird seat that they again wrapped in a heavy-duty vinyl. And this allowed for them to have easier maintenance, right? Because the seats were covered, they were waterproof, they could easily wipe them down and clean them in between guests. As a side note, they also drilled holes in the floorboards to allow for drainage, if you will. So let's move in for a closer look. As you can see, they're pretty dirty. We haven't done anything with these seats since we pulled them out of a car about 13 years ago. Yes, they are covered in dirt and mouse pee. You can see the stitching style is a little bit different than your normal Trans Am seats. They kind of did their own pattern, and they didn't use the hog rings, especially on these back rear seats. They just kind of put the covers on but didn't bother to push down, to contour the rear seat. So that's why they look kind of flat here. But as you can see, they're in pretty worn shape, that's for sure. Looking at the front seats, they're kind of similar. The back seats are in pretty decent shape. We've got one hole here in the back of the back seat, but otherwise the back seat and really all the seats, the vinyl is in excellent shape. I mean, it is heavy duty and it was made to withstand the wear. So let's take a look at underneath the rear seats. On some models of these rear seats, we actually see a manufacturing date, usually in 82, but here all we see is a part number and some other information. So we don't necessarily know exactly what year these seat bottoms are from. And let's take a look at the other one here. So it's the same thing, as you can see. We've got the GM part number and then some other numbers, but there's no date code on the bottom of these ones. Like we see in, again, early 1982 Trans Ams, they actually stamped the date code in the foam of the rear seats. But so these ones must be, newer than that. And really they could be as new as, the late 80s, I would imagine. And let's take a look at the back of the rear seat. It's completely filthy. The seat was folded down for many, many, many years, and as you can see, mice and other critters kind of made their home there for a long time and left their mark, if you will. So we're going to see if we can try and scrub that off. But you can see the top edge looks really nice, dirty, but clean without any tears or anything. So looking at the front seats, you'll notice that they're two different colors. And that's because we were told the way the car was oriented over the water, the driver's seat was in direct sunlight more often, so the vinyl had faded. So here you can even see, take a look at the front seat versus the back of the rear seat, which was out of direct sunlight, and you can see that there's actually three kind of levels of color. The back of the rear seat has what we believe the original tan, then the passenger seat's slightly lighter, and then the driver's seat is quite pale in comparison. It almost looks like a dirty ivory instead of a tan. And whenever we look at the under the headrest, if I can get this up here, we can see some of the original color under there, which was obviously protected by the sun. And you can clearly see the difference there. And this seat actually still has its original GM bezel there. I don't think this passenger side one does. Let's take a look and see. Nope, that one's gone. As you can see, the holes are there, so it was there at one point, but it's gone. But the backs of the seats, these are 1983 Trans Am seats. We believe these are the original factory seats from the first display car. And normally there'd be a mat pocket on the back, but again, that was all stripped down and recovered in this vinyl, so all of that is gone. And you can see here, this passenger seat has black trim on it that's been repainted a couple times and is now chipping off, as you can see. It's missing the bottom piece, of course. And coming over to the driver's side, we actually don't even have the trim on that side. So the mechanisms on both these seats work okay. They both need a little bit of work. But, oh, there's some damage I missed before on the side of the seat. I didn't see that. Let's take a look underneath the rear seat. I'm pretty sure the original covers, like I said, are gone. I'm not sure. You can't really see anything, but they are in fact gone. I was hoping the original covers were underneath, but no, they removed them. Probably because they were soaked in pee. I don't know. There's a little damage on the back of the rear seat. All right, well, what do you say? We get out a bucket of hot soapy water and a brush, and let's see if we can get these things somewhat cleaned up so, you know, they don't look this terrible. Well, it's done. They certainly aren't perfect by any means, but I'll tell you what, it's amazing what a few minutes of scrubbing can do. I mean, dare I say there's a little bit of shine on them. And you know what? I think we'll probably end up going back and scrubbing them a couple more times, but I'll tell you what, now they only mildly smell like mouse pee, as opposed to before, whenever I could barely put my face this close to them. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do with these seats. You know, if I had a spare Trans Am lying around, maybe I would put them in. Probably not. They're a little bit too worn. I'm thinking about mounting them in my workshop here and making, a nice little place for someone to sit down. I don't know. What do you guys think? What should I do with the Universal Studios display car P seats? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know, did you enjoy this? Do you like hearing about these obscure pieces of Knight Rider history? My guess is probably you do, but let me know in the comments below, and I'm sure I can dig out other things just as weird as this. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
And now, while we listen to Joe's selection of Knight Rider music that we received directly from Don Peak himself, we'd like to thank these Patreon supporters. Look at you guys scrolling up the screen to my right. Wait a minute, how can you tell which side is my right, since you can't see me because I'm not on camera? Oh well, you know what I mean. We're featuring these fine supporters at our Knight Rider Prop Restorer level. Thank you very much for your support. And for those of you at the Knight Rider History Hunter level, we're recognizing you right now in the description. Now, if you enjoyed seeing this golden nugget of Knight Rider history being rescued from obscurity, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support would empower us to bring you even more of these historical nuggets. We are the Knight Rider Historians. Till next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.